Good afternoon, boys and girls. It's Miss Glorious again, and welcome back to my virtual classroom. How are you today? Good. That's great to hear. I'm doing okay. Me and big boy Isaiah, we are doing a-okay. We are staying in the house for the most part. Sometimes we go on little walks or we take a drive, but we are remembering to stay safe, to wear our mask and gloves at all times. And I know you're doing the same if you're getting out. Okay, so for this week's video, we so far did a rhyming book that was done yesterday. That was called The Fat Cat Sat on the Mat. And I thought for today, we could switch things up a little bit. Instead of continuing with our literacy book, I thought we could do a pattern session. And before we start, I would like to find out from you what you already know about patterns. It's always important that we do review and then we do the activity. So, what do you know about patterns? Yep, that's right. Patterns do repeat themselves. What else? You can use different things to make a pattern. Today, for this activity, we are going to be using our hands and fingers. But if you are making a pattern at home, you can use different objects, such as any shapes around your house that you find. You can make a pattern with those. You can make a pattern even with the clothes in your drawer. You can make a pattern with one sock, one shirt. One sock, one shirt. It sounds silly, right? Patterns can also be fun. So parents, feel free to help out if you can. Again, the one simple rule about patterns is that they repeat themselves. So for instance, let's just go over an example. So if I have this orange index card and I then have this green index card. So orange first, green next. So for my boys and girls, what color do you think will come next? Remember, we're only using these two colors. And we do know that orange comes first, green comes next. That's right. If some of you said orange will come next, you will be correct. Because our pattern goes like this. Orange, green, orange, green. And as you can see, parents, I just use these index cards that I found like lying around on my desk. You can use these index cards. Again, you can use, parents, you can use items from your child's drawers, like different color socks, a black sock with the pink sock, black sock with the pink sock. You can do other clothing such as shirts and socks. You can play with the sizes if you like. And then you can also extend this activity. So for my little ones that may still be having some trouble with this pattern, you want to start as simple as possible. So two colors are great to start with. So green and then orange and then green and then if you want to challenge your children that find this pattern to be a little too easy for them, what you can do is you can add another color. So for instance, if we did the orange and the green, you then can add a white. So then now your child has to guess what color would come next. So orange, green, white, and then you can continue like that. Now, if that's too easy for them, then you can add in another color. Parents, you can add, depending on your child, you can add these variations, but you know your child's strengths. Initially, I would just start with two colors, the orange and the green, or whatever color you're using. But yeah, if you find that to be easy for them, challenge them by adding more colors to their pattern. So, after you have made your pattern, you can then graph it. Something really easy, something really simple to do. So this is what you'll need to do that. Okay, so for this activity, since we use the note cards, and let's say you made a pattern with your child. So you use the orange, green, and you made a pattern. So maybe you use 2 oranges and you use 2 greens. So you can then make a graph with your child. So you always want to give your graph the title. It's good for the children to see a title so they can refer back to it. So it says, how many colors did I use to make a pattern, right? And then after you create your title here, on the side of your paper, you want to do the amount. So I went up to the number 6, but you can go higher or lower. And then at the bottom here, I wrote the colors of what we used. So I know we use green and orange and pink, but then I just threw in blue and red. Whatever colors you use to make your pattern, you can add those colors at the bottom. Now here comes the fun part, and this is how you get your children counting with you and visualizing what they made. So because we used 2 orange, I can go over to the orange side and I'm going to shade in up to the number 2. And you can either use an orange marker or crayon if you have one, and if you don't have one, that's okay too. I'm going to simply use a pen, so just so you can see it. So there you have it. I used 2 of the flashcards, so I colored up to the number 2. And then I used 3 of the green, so I'm going to color up to the number green. To the number 3, sorry. And there you have it. Of course, it will look a little better if you did have the colors, but I just want to give you guys a visual on what your graph should look like when you're doing this with your children. And there it is. And oh my gosh, they have so much fun shading in the little boxes. They have fun counting the number of things they use to make their pattern. So yeah, this is just a fun, quick way to add some math in with your pattern. Okay, so now for the activity that we're going to do today, I did mention we're going to be using our hands and fingers, and I thought we would just do a simple one by clapping. So are you ready? Let's get started. So here we go. So here we go. That's my first pattern. Here's my second pattern. Did you hear that? The first pattern I did only 1 clap. And then my second pattern I did 3 claps and 1 clap. All right, you ready to try it again? Here we go. See, and my pattern just keeps going. There's one pattern. Here's my second pattern. See that? That second time I did 3 claps, a pause, and then another clap. 3 claps, a pause, and then another clap. Parents, if you want to do something a little more than the clap, you can stomp your feet. You can add other different body parts. So head, clap, stomp. Head, clap, stomp. You can add your shoulders. You can get silly with it. Touch your eyes. But there's so many variations to creating a patterns. And I really hope the examples that I listed for you today were some that you can use and I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Once again, I'm so happy to be doing these activities with you guys. Check back for me every week. I'll have more activities, more fun things for us to do. And as always, I miss you all and I can't wait to see you again. Bye.